Hey everyone, it's Jack from Cultaholic.com, and guess what? Bloody time it is. It's my favourite time of the week. And not only is it Wrestlers of the Week, time of the week, it's also Winners Week. That's right, there were so many good matches that unfortunately, a lot of the losers of those matches couldn't quite find a space on Wrestlers of the Week just because it's Winners Week. And for not all the time, but for this week, we're all about bloody winners here on Wrestlers of the Week. So if you don't win your match, get out. Get out right now. This is all about bloody winners, right? That was a bit aggressive, sorry about that. Before we begin, obviously, we're going to have to do some honourable mentions, all of whom were losers this week. Pathetic. No, but really, really good matches, really good work, guys. I'm sure you'll get on in the near future. David Starr had a good match against Park. Mustache Mountain had that excellent tag team match at NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool against the grizzled young veterans. And if there was anyone that I really wanted to include on Wrestlers Week this week, and I couldn't, it's Tyler Bate. Let's include him as like an honorary number 11 because he was really good in that tag team match. But he was a loser. Also, Jordan Devon, of course, got a little bit shown up by Finn Balor, but that was all the point of the storyline, so I understand. But he did wrestle a good match, made it competitive for the competitive stints of the match before taking the loss. And I have to feel sorry for Travis Banks as well, who kind of got shoved out of that angle to make room for Balor. But at the same time, I'm sure good things will be around the corner for Travis Banks. Loads of honourable mentions to talk about. Actually, before I forget, I did receive an email somewhere in my notes when I find it from a fan named Lucas Zahir. Lucas is from Australia and gave me a little recommendation for the honourable mentions of Wrestlers of the Week. Hello Jack, my name is Lucas and I'm 23 years old and I live in Sydney, Australia. I've got some names for you for the honourable mentions category on this week's edition of Wrestlers of the Week. Winners Week! Last Sunday, 13th of January, I attended a Pro Wrestling Australia (PWA) event highlighted by two big matches. A fantastic triple threat between Jonah Rock, Robbie Eagles and Adam Brooks. This was Jonah Rock's final match in PWA before departing for WWE. Robbie Eagles picked up the pinfall victory. And also, a crazy no DQ contest between, now Lucas, I'm really glad you've emailed me, it's lovely of you, but you've acted like I don't know who this person is, between international import Jimmy Harvick. Myself and Jimmy Harvick have been on the bloody piss together and he's always horrible to me, so I am well familiar with who Jimmy Harvick is, and a local Australian wrestler by the name of Matt Wahlberg. Not Mark, Matt Wahlberg. It turned into a classic Jimmy Havoc hardcore match with lots of sickening weapon spots, and both men were busted open by the end of it, but Matt, the local lad, picked up the pinfall victory. Thank you very much, Lucas, for your email and for helping me out with my honourable mentions, but of course, there's no room for losers or even the winners of those Australia matches because this is Winners Week. Let's take a look at some bloody winners. First up, the new Intercontinental Champion, and a man that I really didn't think I'd be seeing on Wrestlers of the Week anytime soon, but man, he's picked up his first ever point in Wrestlers of the Week action. It's Bobbington Lashley. Really good match on Raw. Loved it. Of course, Rollins and Ambrose did their part in the match as well. Everyone's timing was just on point in this match. I was relieved to see the IC title move away from Ambrose. I felt like it was maybe harming him a little bit, and now he's free to do other stuff. Maybe WWE Creative can get a bit more of a rein on his character. As for Rollins, he's always going to be class, and he is my official pick to win the Royal Rumble. I hope he does. But Bobby Lashley, man, I would have ordinarily been annoyed to see him pick up the IC title because I'm not really enjoying the stuff that he's doing right now, even with Lio Rush as the entertaining mouthpiece. But this match made me think, you know what, maybe Lashley's reign could be pretty okay. The ending of this match made me go, whoa, when I was watching it alone, I made a noise alone in my room, so very alone. But yes, the ending of the match saw Seth Rollins have Dean Ambrose in position for the curb stomp, ran to the ropes, and just at the right time, Lio Rush popped up on the apron like a sneaky little bastard, pulled the ropes down, and then Seth Rollins flew to the outside, and Lashley just drilled Dean Ambrose with one of the best spears I've ever seen him do. Ambrose got folded up like the proverbial accordion, and Bobby Lashley picked up the win. 1 point for you, and 10th place on Wrestlers of the Week. It was like watching the Bobby Lashley of old. TNA Bobby Lashley, not December to Dismember Bobby Lashley. Christ no. Number 9, picking up 2 points, another new champion, the new NXT UK Women's Champion. It's Toni time. Toni Storm, she beat Rhea Ripley and made me look like a bloody fool. Because if you were following my Twitter during that event last Saturday night, you'll have seen that I very confidently made a series of predictions and got one correct. And one of the ones I got wrong was I thought that Rhea Ripley would retain the title, having not held it for too long, but instead WWE went, no, it is in fact, if you just check your watch, it is Toni time, and she's going to win this match. It wasn't the best match on the card, but it was a really good match still, and probably one of the most emotional moments of the night. Toni did a really good job of selling the emotion and the impact of what she'd just done. She really helped make this relatively, really new title look really important and something that's really worth holding. She was doing a really good job of just being a flat-out babyface and showing plenty of warrior spirit. And if anything's going to get you on Wrestlers of the Week in Winners Week, it's it's so aggressive. It's warrior spirit, yeah. 2 points for Toni. Well done. I've just realised before we move on to number 8 that if we make week 3 every year the official Winners Week, that means that I have to remember there was one special week last year that I think I called like the Snow Globe because it had snowed really heavily in Newcastle around that time. And I can't remember when it was, but I'm pretty certain that Kenny Omega won the Snow Globe, or was it Cody Rhodes? It was one of the Bullet Club at the time. When was the Snow Globe? That's going to really irritate me. Let's just move on to number 8. Number 8 is a man from Dragon Gate known as Shun Skywalker. He's made a few appearances on Wrestlers of the Week already last year, picking up a few little points here and there. He's basically one of the most promising up-and-comers in Japan, and he's loads of fun. Look at him. He's young, he wears a mask, he does flips, he's got an absolutely ludicrous ring name, Shun Skywalker. Just loads of fun. He recently won Dragon Gate's Rookie Rankings tournament, becoming the #1 ranked rookie in the process, beating Kaito Ishida in a very entertaining final match. Seek that out if you can on demand online. That's Dragon Gate. It was a good match. I really enjoy Shun Skywalker. I think he's got loads of potential, and I'm really intrigued to see what he does, because in the landscape of Japanese wrestling, you don't see too many people move from one promotion to another in terms of the top level promotions. What I mean is, you don't see too many people moving from the lower down promotions to New Japan. You see it, a couple of times a year, someone high profile like Shingo Takagi will come in, but I don't know whether Shun Skywalker's future does lie in New Japan, or whether he's going to be like one of those loyal company boys and he just stays working for Dragon Gate for a long time. Selfishly, of course, I do hope he goes to New Japan because I watch a lot more of it, but I endeavour to keep following Shun Skywalker's career, even if he doesn't decide to go to New Japan, even if he stays in Dragon Gate. Bloody love you, Shun. I'm your #1 fan. Dear Shun, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling. I left my cell phone, my pager, and my address at the bottom. 3 letters back in autumn. You must not have got him. I'm going to name my daughter Shun Skywalker. Stan. Tea's gone cold, I'm wondering why. Number 7, if I just briefly refer to my notes, is Pete Dunne, the NXT United Kingdom champion. Now, all I've written here quite lazily is just talk about the NXT United Kingdom title match, because there was a hell of a lot to talk about in that match, and I've not given myself any more help. I think I got distracted midway through writing this, but it's alright, because it was a memorable match for various reasons, and I'm going to let you know why right now. So somebody that I really should have mentioned in the honourable mentions section was Joe Coffey. He kind of got overshadowed in the aftermath of this match because of, the debut of Volta and everything, and the fact that he didn't win. Pete Dunne won. This is Winners Week, but I thought that there were some very cruel things said about Joe Coffey online in terms of he's out of his depth, Pete Dunne's carrying him, Joe's gassed, all that sort of stuff. I think that generally the match was a very, very good one, but just personally, I think that it maybe dragged on a little bit too long, and of course they botched that spot off the top rope to the outside, but by and large it was a good match, and Pete Dunne in particular put in a very good performance. So did Joe Coffey. I don't mean to take away from him at all, but I just thought I preferred Pete's performance, and of course he won, and it's Winners Week. Pete was really good in this match, once again showing how he can really just have a great match with anyone regardless of their style, whether it's Ricochet, another bruiser like Joe Coffey but kind of a bigger, heavier one, or someone similarly sort of hard-hitting / technical like himself, British strong style as it's known. So it's just a really, really good match, and I just don't know when Pete Dunne's reign is going to end. I predicted, again foolishly, that he would lose this match and then, maybe appear in the Royal Rumble, move over to the NXT, United States brand, and then progress to the main roster from there, because the future is just wide open for Pete Dunne. He's looking on top form. But at the same time, he didn't lose. He's still got the belt. Now I'm thinking, Walter's going to take it from him. But there's no guarantee. I don't know how long Pete Dunne's going to hold on to that title for. He's held it long enough now that whenever he does lose it, and whoever he does lose it to, it's going to feel massive. I do think it's probably going to be to Walter, and I think that match as well has a real chance of being a legit Match of the Year candidate. Well done, Pete Dunne. 4 points for you, and just carrying on the winning, just a procession of winners in Winners Week. Number 6, Booyaka Booyaka 619. Booyaka Booyaka Rey Mysterio. It's Rey Mysterio. And I saw it pointed out on Reddit actually that for his excellent match against Andrade on SmackDown, he had mask, just the word mask written on his mask. Fair play. Rey Mysterio did wonders in this match, putting over his opponent, making him look like the future, while still showing us all that even in his 40s, I believe, he can still just absolutely go. He can still wrestle a fantastic match, and it honestly beggars belief. Yeah, Rey lost, and I think that was probably the right decision, but even though this is Winners Week, I had to put Rey on here just because of how good his performance was. It was really, really phenomenal stuff. He was hitting destroyers, he was taking big moves as well. They worked so seamlessly together, and it was a nice blend of that lucha Mexican style and WWE sports entertainment, slightly slower paced style, focused more on selling and heat segments and that sort of thing. But it blended together so seamlessly, and it was such a wonderful match. And I just can't work out how Rey can keep going at the level that he does. He's really legitimately a once-in-a-generation great, once-in-a-lifetime great. I can understand why an older guy like, for example, Minoru Suzuki can still go at a high level, because his style is just about batting lads really hard, doing a load of submissions, stuff that doesn't require flying through the air as though gravity does not exist. Rey Mysterio, as a high flyer, should surely have seen his skills deteriorate to a bigger degree than they have already. But no, somehow he just keeps on going at an outrageous level, and I just love it. Is it too late to give him another title run? Number 5, his opponent, not Andrade Cien Almas, just Andrade. That's right. Andrade is the latest to fall victim to the single name curse that affects people when they hit the WWE main roster. We saw it happen to Rusev, we saw it happen to Cesaro as well, and now Mr., the artist formerly known as Mr. Cien Almas, is now just Andrade. I don't agree with the decision, but what can we do? I also realised that in the previous point, when I was talking about Rey Mysterio and I was talking about his opponent, I did literally just say Andrade and it just rolled off the tongue. I've already fallen victim to Vince McMahon's games. But no, this was a wonderful showcase of what Andrade can do. I'm really hyped because I'm just so hyped right now. I'm really, really excited because I think that it could be the first step in shooting Andrade Cien Almas towards the title picture. Ideally, I'd like to see him as WWE champion, but I think maybe he'll have to do a little detour first. Maybe he'll take the United States title from Rusev along the way, and then hopefully, once that's all said and done, he can go on and become WWE champion. I just feel like he deserves it. He was one half of WWE's first 5-star match since 2011. Surely he's already proven that he's worthy of facing guys like Bryan and Styles on pay-per-view. That's the key. I really want to see Andrade get his first big pay-per-view match in the very near future. And yes, I do think now that I've said it, he probably will go on to feud with Rusev or someone like that first. But I wouldn't mind at all if they just fast-tracked him straight to the main event scene. They've done it with Mustafa Ali, also a great talent. Why can't they do it with Andrade? And the whole package is just totally topped off by Zelina Vega, who continues to be one of the best managers in the world today. They're a dying breed, let's be honest with you, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that her excellence and her status as one of the best managers in the world is anything to be sniffed at. Come on, Andrade, come on, Zelina, up the winners week, and enjoy your points as well, mate. Next up, number 4, and I don't want to dwell on him for too long because it's a tag team and it's one of those issues where I don't know how much to talk about one of them and how much to talk about the other one. But number 4 is Liverpool's number 1, Zach Gibson. I lowered my voice there instinctively, genuinely, because Owen, our new editor, is in the office and he is from Liverpool, and I just did an impression of his accent and I didn't want him to get offended. I am a coward in every aspect of my life. Now, Zach Gibson for me has always been by far the standout member of the grizzled young veterans ever since I first saw them in Progress. Now, I was worried that James Drake would get kind of overshadowed by his partner because Zach Gibson, although works a less flashy style than James Drake, I think is just leagues ahead, and leagues ahead of not just his partner, but most people in the UK in terms of mic skills. He is a fantastic heel. Anyone who can convince a crowd to remove their shoes in protest of him, wrestling fans, that must be smelly as well, is a top-level heel in my book. He is excellent. He's also a great wrestler, as proven in this tag match against Mustache Mountain. Now, I didn't want to, leave off any of the guys in that match, and I've already said how sad I was, particularly to leave Tyler Bate off. But at the same time, I thought Gibson and Drake really, really showed why they're regarded as a top UK tag team. They showed it to the world. I was so glad they got a chance to do this on a takeover show, and I just think that the future's really bright for them. Hopefully Drake also gets a chance to at least show what he can do on the mic, or help develop himself a bit more of a personality, and if any facility is good enough to help him do that, it's surely the new United Kingdom Performance Centre. Now, speaking of James Drake, number 3 is James Drake. What a bloody surprise that was. I spoiled it before I started talking about Zach Gibson. First of all, James Drake looks lovely. Looks like a little Shawn Michaels, doesn't he? Looks like a 90s era Shawn Michaels. All the flowing hair. Looks like a lion. But also in this match, I think this is my favourite James Drake match I've ever seen. Not that I've seen that many matches by him, but one spot in particular really sticks in the mind. I think you'll probably know what it is if you've already watched the match. Two spots actually. There was the double Shankly Gates as well, which was a really good callback to matches from the likes of The Revival and DIY over on the US NXT brand. But the spot I was originally thinking of was the one where Zach Gibson had Tyler Bate on his shoulders in the ring. Trent Seven goes for the 5-star lariat. James Drake ducks it, and in one seamless transition shoots himself into a suicide dive to the outside and just knocks Tyler Bate straight off Zach Gibson's shoulders. Luckily Tyler Bate got the full rotation off the back of the shoulders, otherwise he would have had a very nasty landing. But all 4 men in that spot did their part, and James Drake's dive was just the cherry on top of the delicious work rate cake. Yum yum yum, get in my belly right now.
Yum yum yum, get in my belly right now.
Number 2, no bias here, and don't worry because it's not Will Ospreay or Zack Sabre Jr., but it is another Brit, and just to fuel the rumours of bias even more, it's a Brit from my hometown of Newcastle upon Tyne. It's Pac. It's bloody Pac, the bastard. There are special moments in wrestling sometimes, especially when a wrestler comes back to a promotion that he used to wrestle for, or goes back to a scene that he used to wrestle in, or comes back to his hometown. And that third one is what we saw Pac do just last week, but it went out this week on demand. Last weekend. It went out recently on demand for Defiant Wrestling. Pac had a match against David Starr, and the match was really good, and that's why Starr's in the honourable mentions. But it wasn't just the match. It wasn't just about the match, guys. It was about the entrance and the reception and the constant crowd support for Pac throughout this match. And the fact they weren't calling him Neville as well. They were calling him Pac, which I think is really important. But man, this is one of like the coolest Defiant moments I've seen since they rebranded from WCPW. I thought it was awesome. If you can find the match on, I think it's just on normal YouTube for free. If you can find the match, watch it, because his entrance is really, really something to behold. Everyone's cheering for him. There was a bit of vocal support for David Starr as well, but man, even though he was the heel as well, just the support for Pac was quite something, like something genuinely special that you rarely see in wrestling, maybe like 1 or 2 times a year at the very most. That's not the only reason he's so high on this list. He won the match, of course, this is Winners Week, by booting David Starr in the cock and balls when the referee's back was turned, and then pinning him with, I think he calls it the black arrow now actually, but the red arrow, the big flippy move that he does off the top, pinned him with that. But also, he had a really good match that's only just been made available on demand at Rev Pro against Zack Sabre Jr. The booking in that match wasn't quite as good, but I see why they did it. Basically, it was all called off. There was a bit of a screwy finish, and then Ospreay came out, and it set up the match between Pac and Ospreay that's taking place next month. I get why they did that. I totally understand. But it was a shame to see a match between Pac and Zack Sabre Jr. cut short in the name of another match. I get why they did it. It was a bit of a lose-lose situation, but I'd just like to have seen it have a proper finish. And finally, number 1, and my wrestler of the week. Could 2019 be the year of the Irish wrestlers, with people like Becky Lynch and this man, Finn Balor, just doing bits all over the place? Again, bit aggressive. Don't know quite what's going to me this week. That's right, Finn Balor is my wrestler of the week, picking up the full 10-pointer-roos. Why? Well, he had 3 matches, won all 3 of them, and this could well be the start of his deserved rise on the WWE main roster. The first match, as I've already sort of alluded to earlier in this video, was against Jordan Devlin, when Travis Banks got beaten up by Devlin before the match, and then Johnny Satan, Sid Scala went, yo, we've got someone. They didn't go, yo. Johnny Satan wasn't on the stage going, yo, kids. No, they went, we've got our backup, it's Finn Balor. Balor came out, had a good match with Devlin, fair play to Devlin as well for his part in the match. Balor won with the coup de grace, or coup de grace, as someone on Twitter, a French gent, was telling me I should pronounce it. Won with the double stomp off the top, who knows. And then on Raw, did double duty. So he basically beat Jordan Devlin, flew across the Atlantic, and then I'm guessing pretty jet lagged as well. Got into the ring with Jinder Mahal first of all, beat him with the coup de the double stomp off the top. And then obviously in that four-way main event with Cena, McIntyre and Baron Corbin triumphed, pinning John Bloody Cena, Big Match Jonathan, to become the new #1 contender for Brock Lesnar's Universal Championship. Now this is monumental for Balor. I've written an article detailing sort of why on Cultaholic.com, but basically I don't think he's going to beat Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. I don't think many people expect Balor to actually win that title match, but this could be the start of something new for Finn Balor. Obviously his career on the main roster so far has been blighted by either bad booking, WWE just seemed to lose interest in him, or injury. Obviously he got that injury in the match where he became the first ever Universal Champion, and now hopefully, and he's not the youngest wrestler out there, hopefully this is the time when Balor can really ascend to main event level status and really justify all the popularity and all the support that all the fans have put into him over the past few years. I really want to see it happen. Yes, I don't think he beat Lesnar, but I just feel like this could be the start of something. The start of something new. High School Musical, plays. Don't know the words. Me and you, Finn Balor, well done, 10 points for you. So without any further ado, let's take a look at the Big Bad League table. As we can see at the top there, it's a three-way tie between this year's three winners so far: Tanahashi, Itami and Finn Balor. There's Omega, there's Cedric. There's three-way ties a lot of the way down, to be honest, because we've seen three very distinct weeks on Wrestlers of the Week. I don't really know what analysis I can give yet at this stage, because no one has yet set themselves apart and really leapt ahead of the pack. I think it even took Ospreay quite a few months to do that last year. In fact, Zack Sabre Jr. was leading the way for quite some time. So at this stage, it's absolutely anyone's guess. Look at the bottom there. There's Shun Skywalker just being pals with Ortiz and Chris Jericho. I hope they're being nice to him. So that is it for this week on Wrestlers of the Week. Thank you very much for watching week number 3 and Bloody Winners Week. I've been Jack from Cultaholic, and you can follow me on Twitter if you want to, at Jack the Jobber. You can follow all of us at Cultaholic. Check out our Patreon as well, patreon.com/Cultaholic. And never forget, of course, if you haven't done so already, to hit subscribe and to join us.